Sounds good.
Okay, so here we are.
So
Taboo
congratulations.
Mom. Look around. Oh my gosh. Hello, friends. For those of you who don't know me, oh, my husband is watching this. I see it now. I'm Colleen, and I blog over at thelunchboxdiaries.com. And this is Taboo Mom Talk. And every Tuesday in February, I will be getting together with a mom friend or two, and we will be talking about the parts of motherhood that you don't see on social media. So for these 5,000 views, we're not going to be taboo moms doing weird shit online. So it's really boring.
Not on this glass of wine, or at least.
This is as wild as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. But we will, I don't know, we'll just be talking. We'll be drinking wine. There's no rules. There's no agenda, no script. And tonight I'm talking with one of my favorite people, Stephanie, from oliveandtate.com, and I will let her talk about what she does, but I have to say that I'm so thankful that you are doing this with me, because I think that you're a riot, and you're so witty, and you are fluent in sarcasm like myself, so I think we will have a good time with this. And I have to say congratulations to Stephanie, because she is on the Huffington Post today.
Today.
Today. Yeah. It's Tell a little. Okay, yeah, sorry. Then this is our first. You've never done this, have you?
Oh no, I'd never heard of Blab until you told me, you invited me to do this. So this is new for me, for sure.
I don't know. So I think it's going to be a lot of tennis, but we'll see. I don't know. Okay, so Stephanie, tell people what you do on the internet.
What do I do on the internet? I'm sure I annoy a lot of people, and I definitely write about motherhood. This post that just went on the Huffington Post actually hasn't even been published on my blog yet, but it's definitely not about the rosy side of motherhood. That's not really my gig. So I don't really consider myself a mommy blogger. I don't really know what you what?
I will call myself a mommy blogger the day I get a minivan.
I don't consider myself a mommy blogger. I blog about my life, and I happen to have a son who's 18 months old, but I don't, post about him. I post about me as far as being a mom. So this post on HuffPo that just went live this afternoon is about how I didn't exactly feel madly in love with him when he was born, which I think is a really hard thing to say out loud, and it was a really hard thing to feel, and it took about 18 months for me to even write the words down, because I felt like no matter what I was going to say, it was going to sound just awful. But
well, funny, because when we were talking about it, I feel like I had such a hard time in the beginning with being a new mom, because everyone told me it's so wonderful. It's the best thing ever. It's, I was sick for my entire pregnancy. I hated it. So everyone was like, it's so worth it. And then when I had the baby and I had postpartum depression, I was like, this is not worth it. What? But one person took me aside and said, when you have a baby, you expect the heavens to open and a choir of angels to come down and sing to you, and your whole life is different. But it's not always like that.
And no one said that to me. So no one said what they said to me. I kept getting all these text messages that were so well intended, but it was, aren't you so in love with him? Have you ever felt anything like it? Aren't you over the moon? Isn't this the best thing that's ever happened to you? And I'm just like, I am doing something wrong. And I was lucky enough to not have any postpartum depression. I think people probably read that post and assume that it's my feelings were a result of something else that was going on, and that wasn't the case. It just, he was a stranger, and, he had been inside of me for 38 weeks trying to break his way out through my rib cage, and getting him out of me was the best thing that happened in a really long time. And then on top of that, I just never had this crush, this wave of, and people try to blame it on so many things. I think that's probably why I had such a hard time and took so long to write the post, because people would say, well, oh, you had a C-section. Oh, you didn't nurse. Oh, you must have had postpartum depression. Well, I did have a C-section. I had an extremely frank breech baby. I did not breastfeed. I did not make milk, period.
That's obvious.
Well, and none of those things those are just simply statements of fact. So that's just how my journey into all this started. So to me, those are all statements of fact, and they don't have anything to do with how I felt. Right. And I kept waiting, and I kept waiting, and I kept thinking, this has to happen because I'm doing something really wrong here. And, you know, I like this kid a lot, and he's a baby, and he's a blessing, and we wanted him, and we worked for him, and, you know, he's what we wanted. But when he was born, I never felt different. I didn't have this moment. I was like, this is it, you know? So that's what started the whole thing. And I didn't tell anyone for a long time that that's how I felt. And I had a coworker say to me not long ago, maybe a month ago, she sort of started to express that she felt that way. And I was like, that's totally normal. I felt that way. And she was overwhelmed that, you know, it wasn't weird. So I don't think it's weird. I just think no one wants to say, I didn't feel.
Yeah. I definitely didn't feel this, like, when they handed him to me, I had just had an emergency C-section. Like, I was so, like, I was shaking, like, I don't even know what. And so they handed me this baby, and I'm like, okay, great. I can't feel my legs. Like, what's happening? And when they took him away, like, you know, they take him, and I was like, if they brought back a different baby, I probably wouldn't even know. Like, he was a stranger. So I didn't feel that, like, overwhelming, like, life-altering, I don't know, feeling of overwhelming love at first, but nobody wants to say that. And when I was, like, having all that, like, postpartum depression and anxiety, like, everyone that came over was like, are you the happiest you've ever been?
Yeah.
Like, don't you love him? Isn't your life so much better? And I was like, fuck this. Like, no, it's not. And so since nobody took the time to say, like, have you cried today? Or do you feel really tired? Like, nobody took the time to ask that or say that. So I felt like I was the only one.
Yeah, no, I mean, I felt like, so I also had my baby really far away from family and friends. We were living in northern Maine at the time. So it was a very insular experience. And so I really did the only thing I had were my own misconceptions, right? So I didn't have another mom who had an infant say to me, you know, that's okay. Like, this might not happen for you, you know, and I almost don't want to say this, but, like, this is probably just how I'm wired. Like, this is not the same scenario, but I was never that girl who put on her wedding dress and, like, cried and clapped.
No, I was like, this is it.
Yeah. You know, it just, you know, so maybe, and I'm not comparing the two, like, no one get their panties in a twist. Like, they're very different things, but that's probably, you know, I'm probably cut from that type of cloth, and that's okay. A lot of us are. Yeah. A lot of us are. So
yeah, you went crazy. Then it's like this, but I mean, I tried the wedding dress. I think is a perfect example because you watch Say Yes to the Dress and people cry and they're like, I feel like a bride now. And
no, I never had that. I was like, how?
The first dress I tried on, I was like, that'll be big.
The first dress I tried on too, literally. Yeah.
Right. And my mom, and my mother-in-law were like, keep trying. You don't know. And I'm like, no. This is it.
My mom made me go to other places. She was like, you have to have this experience. And I was like, I hate this experience. Like, that's, I mean, I'm felt sweating. I'm sweating now, obviously. But I felt like when I had him, this moment, where is this moment? Everyone's talking about, like, and you know what? I do know, and I believe in my heart that there are so many moms out there, they have that moment. But I don't think it has to do with, and I don't think that it has to do with how they gave birth or how long they nursed or if their baby has a good temperament or not. Like, it's just not about those things, and that's okay. Like, I just didn't have it. I mean, he's 18 months old now, and I will say I'm just at this point where, you know, like, I always go to bed and I look at pictures of him. That's just, like, standard operating procedure, but, like, I've probably just gotten to the point where I think to myself, wow, like, he is perfect. Like, he his cheeks are so soft, like that kind of stuff. And he's 18 months old. And part of it might be he has a little personality now.
Yes, because when they're just born, they're just little blobs of nothing that just cry and poop, and you're responsible for them. And you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, mostly I just wanted him to stay alive. Like when he was a newborn, I was just so, everything was a death trap. Whether it was his, right when I had him, it was like the rock and play is going to kill him. And I was like, no, the rock and play is like the only thing I have. Like everything that I was like holding on to that was going to keep him alive. That minute a new study would come out, and that was what was going to give him SIDS. And I just couldn't think, well, how am I supposed to know what to do? So, I just wanted him to live, like, let alone.
For success. Like, Corey would come home and be like, how was your day? I was like, he's alive. Like, I succeeded today. Like, and I wasn't joking. Like, I don't know. I love this truth. I was the same and always felt. Yeah, no, you're not a jerk. I think everyone's a jerk who tells you that it's going to be so awesome. Because, there are really awesome things. But, like, I texted you that day that I took Jack over to my mother-in-law's because Corey and I were having, like, that 24 hours. And I was like, I feel guilty for not feeling guilty. Like, I was so excited to not have him for 24 hours. And not, like...
For the record, how old he was when this happened.
Like 9 months.
Yeah, like he wasn't 9 weeks. Like you waited until he was like 9 months old, and you took him to the grandparents down the road, and you were like, I feel guilty that I don't feel guilty for leaving him. I'm like, I cannot even respond to this. Like, this is ludicrous.
Your response was pretty though. You were like, go drink a glass of wine and only worry about wiping your own ass. And I was like, you're correct. Like,
yeah, that's like the best thing. Like, I don't know. Hold on, I'm getting text messages. I just want to make sure they're not like, you have a giant booger. Like, that's what I gotta check them and make sure. Like,
yeah.
No, seriously though, I don't know where we get this guilt from, and I think we give it to ourselves, and then we blame it on other moms, which is weird, right? I'm not saying that other moms aren't total. Thanks, guys, for checking the one on the list. Like, I'm not saying that other moms don't sometimes say things that we interpret and make ourselves feel bad, but I certainly got that. I certainly got that from my own self. Like, I assumed I was supposed to have this huge moment, and it just didn't happen. And then I was like, who are these moms who are like, oh, well, look.
Yeah.
But there weren't. It wasn't other moms. I was in Northern Maine. I had no other mom friends. I was doing it to myself. Like, I was making myself miserable about how I felt. What's so stupid?
Well, I was making myself miserable, I think, and I was blaming it on other people, but it was my interpretation, obviously, because I was like just scrolling through Facebook at 2:00 in the morning when you're feeding, and everyone was like, oh, I love being a mom. Or like, I knew so many new moms at the same time, and they were all like, hashtag blessed, hashtag love everything, hashtag my life is perfect. And I was like, hashtag WTF is going on in my life right now. There was such a stark like before and after for me, and it was a really difficult transition. Like, it wasn't this natural like, I'm finally a mom. I was like, fuck, I'm a mom. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. It was
and I feel the need to state for the record at this point, because we do have a lot of people watching that are strangers to us. We both tried for our children. We both wanted our children, and we worked for our children. So it's not, like that. I don't think these feelings happen in a vacuum. Like, I don't think, educated women, careers, and partners. And I wanted this baby, and I wanted him bad. And I had him, and I was like, no, what? Like, how did this happen to me? Like, how am I this person who doesn't go gaga over my baby?
Yeah,
necklace, Colleen? Maybe, yeah.
It's Stella and Dot.
Oh no, she's wearing an arrow and I'm wearing a bar that has my baby's monogram on them. So see, I really do love him.
Yeah, I don't have a monogram on my baby, so
I'll send you one. I'll send you one.
No, but so that's a really good thing to say, because we do have strangers watching us. It's not just our friends. We love and that's the thing I hate, because when you're talking to other moms, like, you always feel like you have to say, I love him, but like, I feel like when you're talking to another mom, you don't have to say that because obviously any mother loves their child. Like, just sometimes it sucks and sometimes it's not great. So
don't you feel like, and this might be me, but sometimes, and I think maybe we do this to ourselves, but like, don't you feel like moms sort of like grade your love paper?
Oh God, yes.
Like if okay, so today in the car, my baby ate trash. Ate trash. Like I had thrown yesterday's Chick-fil-A bag in the back seat, and I thought he couldn't reach it, and he dug around and got it and pulled it into his lap, opened the old container of Chick-fil-A nuggets, rattled it. It was empty, tossed to the side, found an old fry and ate it. I'm just driving him to school, and I let him. Like I could have pulled over and pried it out of his hands. But he's a toddler, so last night for dinner he ate mustard. Okay, so I thought, sure, the old fry is probably not that bad. So I let him eat trash, right? So if I told that to a certain type of what I perceive that mom to be, is she going to judge me on the love scale? You know?
Yeah, you will. And yes, because I even, obviously, you know, I write about this kind of stuff, and so do you. But like people will say like, oh, what would, you know, Jack do if he ever saw this that you wrote about him? I'm like, well, he would already know because I don't plan on like building a shrine to my child and like making him think he's the most important sacred thing in my life. And then people shit their pants over that. So, hold on. Somebody said you look like Demi Lovato.
I've gotten that before. My most common one, this one is a real backhanded compliment. Jessica Alba when she's pregnant, because her face gets really round. So, like, I, in general, look like her when she's pregnant.
That's not true.
No, I mean, who cares? I mean, sure, go for it, whatever. I don't care. It's like one of those compliments when someone's like, "Oh, your hair looks nice today." It's like that kind of compliment. And you're like, "The hell, I'll take it." Like, you know what? My pants aren't probably zipped, so whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So you look like. Just want to say this. I figured out how to get to Blab.
Tony, I'm a heathen. It was trash. I mean, he was so happy. I have a picture of him holding, like, we stopped at a stoplight. I reached the phone around. He's holding this cold, old 24-hour waffle fry, and he's smiling. He's like the happiest kid ever. I'm like, have fun at school. Like, I back to pre-baby body. There is no pre-baby body, so I can't speak to that. You're the healthy living blogger. You go for it.
Healthy Passion one. I have no idea. There's no. I lost the weight not by anything to do with that. Like I didn't try to do it, but nothing is the same. Like I'm saving for a boob job. Like
okay, so I'll cop to this. This is different than what you think I'm going to cop to, but I'll cop to that too. So I went to hashtag saggy boobs. Okay, so I went to the jeweler not long ago, like 2 weeks ago.
You told me about this.
Because I had to take my rings off, my wedding ring and my engagement ring, when I was 13 weeks pregnant. And by take them off, I mean like butter, soap, whatever, the string trick, whatever. I did get them back on after I had the baby. But my finger was like hurting. I was like, this is getting dramatic. Like, what's happening? I finally pried my rings off. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see it? Look at my finger, you guys. That's permanent. I haven't worn my rings in like a month. That's permanent. So I went to the ring, or took my ring to the store where we bought it from. And they sized my finger at a 6.5, and they sized my rings they sized my finger at an 8.5. My rings are a 6.5, my finger's an 8.5. That's 2 ring sizes. Ring sizes are not like bra sizes. Like that's a lot of stretching. Like that's a lot. That's and I was like, does this happen often? And the guy was like, well, you know, when people have babies. And I was like, nope, I'm good. You don't have to finish that thought. Like I had to have my rings remade. You cannot have a ring like resized 2 sizes. You have to rebuild the rings. So that's pre-baby body for you. My feet are a size bigger, my hands, like everything.
I can alphabetize my bras.
Pre-baby, after baby.
It's like A, B, C, D. Like it just they work And then we're going back down.
Go back down. Yeah. No, I went to a plastic surgeon in town, has this new injectable, and it's supposed to get rid of the fat in your double chin. And so I just wanted to see what it was all about. Like, is it permanent? Like, I want to know all those types of things. So I went in, and she was like, yeah, it's permanent unless you gain the weight back. And I was like, oh, like, that's not permanent. Like, that's not permanent. And I was like, at some point, we're going to have these cut off and put back to where they were. So while I'm out, you guys can handle that with your injectable. She's like, that's a good plan. Schedule an appointment 6 months after your last baby. And I was like, that's just sad. Like, that's sad news. Favorite nursing bra, someone asked. I didn't nurse, so I don't have a favorite nursing bra.
Do you use a favorite? Okay.
You pumped for like ever.
Well, it was just from Target. It was like the Jillian and something.
Yeah. And somebody else is saying they like the Target ones too.
Yeah, Target. They're cheap, and I wore like just a few. Like, I didn't buy a lot, and I just wore them.
I didn't nurse or pump. I made no milk, so I didn't have to have the accessories. I just got really big boobs, and they went
away. So they went away, even though you didn't.
They didn't go away. Like, I still have giant boobs, but they just sunk down, pointed down. I don't know what's happening, but they didn't go away. They're still big, but they need to be like lassoed differently. How else do you explain it? Like, they're just weird. I don't know. Like, in my dream scenario, they just go away, and they just come back up.
It's bad. Like, a lot of, like, from when I got pregnant to now, like, all of my clothes, all my tops I couldn't wear because either my boobs were too big, and then everything looked inappropriate, or I looked fatter than I was. And now everything's too small and saggy, and
no, it's not a good look, but it happened. I mean, cheers, healthy passion one. But it's better. This is all I have a bottle of boob over there that my best friend Megan, who's texting me how ridiculous I'm being, she got me for my first. We give each other gifts for our children's birthdays because it's like, congrats, like, especially the first birthday. You made it through your first year of motherhood.
That's the one that's going on Scary Mommy. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, first birthday. So she gave me a bottle of boob to celebrate his first, and it's over there. And I might pop it. I mean, I was on HuffPo today, so.
You are on HuffPo today.
I am on HuffPo. People are still talking about nursing bras, so I'm glad to hear that there's a resource besides me because I have nothing.
The Medela ones wrestle my tatas in, and they are soft. I have a baby
passed out on it now. Oh, hi, Caroline.
That's nice. Caroline. I can't really tell you other than that. Hi. So Jack's first birthday is at the end of March. And
do you want to talk about first birthday parties? I feel like that's pretty taboo, the way we went about it.
So for everyone who wants to know, his birthday invitation says, "Let's celebrate and cheer. Colleen and Corey survived Jack's first year." And it's a mimosa brunch party.
And at mine, it was, "Please don't bring gifts. This baby has everything he needs." And we had we'll answer that one in a second.
Oh, Healthy Passion one is giving some good stuff.
Yeah. So at Grace, my son's first birthday, we had 15 bottles of wine. You know, we had sangria. I don't think we decided not to get a keg because, we're classy like that. So we got cases. I mean, I told people the baby's not opening presents. He's one. He doesn't give him a tissue paper. He doesn't care. Like, so we didn't I almost didn't do anything, but then I honestly thought that my husband and I not deserved praise. Like, let me be really clear, but we deserve to celebrate that our marriage, our family, we moved, we did a reno, like we did all of that in our son's first year of life. Like, that's for celebrating. Like, everyone's alive, everyone's okay. Like,
yes. And I know a lot of people, and I'm not knocking anyone who does this, because again, like, some people really get a lot of joy, like, out of that kind of stuff. That's great. I am not one of those people. So, I'm not having like a bounce house and like cartoons and stuff like no. When he's old enough to know like what a birthday party is, then he can like have some input. But right now, are you kidding me? Okay. Oh my.
People I have really strong feelings about this birthday party thing, but and again, I think because people don't know us, so I want to state for the record that I'm probably one of the least judgmental people you'll ever meet. This is just what works for me. Like, if you really enjoy throwing kids' birthday parties, then you should throw one hell of a kid's birthday party, and you should rock that shit out and bedazzle your invitations and do the things that make you happy. But that's not what made me happy. We had just finished a renovation. I knew people wanted to see the inside of our house. So I was like, well, we'll have a little get together and come on over and please don't bring presents. And like, honestly, people were like, what should we get him? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
wine. He really likes wine.
Rotten. He has everything he needs.
I'm not in my playroom right now. You can't even walk in there. Like there's plastic primary color toys everywhere. And he chews on socks. Like he likes his socks. Yeah. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Like my kid is #blessed. Like that, there's no other way to describe it. Like my kid is #blessed. And like,
really, #blessed. Jack. Yes.
When people ask what they should get, if they were like, we're getting a gift anyway. I was like, fine. He needs sippy cups. He needs a plate with his name on it. Sure. He needs.
Yeah. My friend Brittany, who I think is watching this, I asked her, I was like, because she has a 2.5-year-old, I was like, what were legit presents? And she said, like, a tote, like an overnight tote when he goes somewhere, a toy chest. She said like a beach chair, a lounge chair. So in the summer they have a little chair, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, yes, okay.
So my in-laws give them experiences. So they get him a zoo pass for the year, or they get him the children's museum pass for the year. And actually they're not, but I know that sounds pretentious, but they're really not expensive. I think our zoo pass here, it's a very small zoo. I think it's like $75 for the whole year. So like that's what they gave him, and he can. So and every time they come to town, they take him to the zoo. It's like their thing. So perfect. Yes. Okay, fine. But don't give me another book that I have to store somewhere. Like that. I mean,
I like books though.
Okay, so
I like books.
This is gonna end up all over the internet. My in-laws collected for my son books, that old Dr. Seuss books, and they write messages on the inside for them, which is great. It means the baby has a full library. So now when new people bring in books, I'm like, no more books. I mean, he has a full bookshelf, so he just doesn't need really period. Nothing. Mm-hmm. Gallons of milk that don't expire, that's what we blow through around here. Like, it's...
Exactly. You want to bring me, like, food pouches? That's great.
Yeah, sure. Should we read some of these on the side? Like, people are saying, so I had made a cake and had immediate family over. That was the end of that. I hear that. You're right. And next year may be different. Sure. I mean, next year my son will turn 2. And I actually think we're going to be at the beach with my family for his birthday. So, I mean, it'll have a totally different feel. When he's 5, 6, 7, he'll have a really great idea of what he wants for his own birthday. But his first birthday was, we survived. We made it.
So do you want to tackle a healthy passion one?
Yeah, what was the question?
Okay, honest question. Love life after baby. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Did your relationship change for the better?
I'll answer that. I've written a post on it, so I'll answer it. So I hate the word intimacy. It skeeves me out. It's like panties. It's like the grossest word ever to me. Yeah, see, that's how I feel about intimacy. However, this is the only circumstance that I will use it. So I will say that my marriage has a much deeper level of intimacy since we had our baby. We're much better partners. We're much better teammates. We have to discuss things like, like college funds. I mean, not that we were irresponsible before, but my husband never wanted to talk about a will until we had our son. And then he wanted to talk about, we need to make a plan for our baby. That's intimacy to me. So like, it's not sexy. Like, I can assure you these bad boys aren't getting busted out on a regular occasion because we're talking about wills, but our level of intimacy is definitely better. So, or our level of intimacy is deeper. So I think that makes our marriage
better,
stronger.
Right.
And the question she's probably asking is about sex.
Yeah.
So,
it's hard right after you have a baby.
Yeah.
I mean.
Okay, so famous quote, I had a C-section, to which my husband says, well, since you had a C-section and not a vaginal delivery, you don't have to wait the 6 weeks, right? Nothing happened down there.
Right, it's all intact down there. He was like, C-section?
Yeah, the doctor was like, okay. I don't know.
Well, I will say that, so I had a C-section too, and when I, like, this is disgusting, but like the first time that I got up out of bed and there was like blood, I was like, what? I didn't have a vaginal birth. Why am I bleeding? And they were like, shit's got to come out, Colleen.
Yeah, and they follow you into the bathroom. She followed me into the bathroom the first time. I said, oh, no, I had a C-section, so that's okay. Like,
her face was like in my vag. Like,
I was like, oh, no, it's okay. I had a C-section. Like, she like missed the memo. She helped me to the bathroom. I was like, no, it's okay. And she was like, no, we did this anyways. And I was like, ooh, no one told me. Sorry. Sorry about that.
I was like, I was apologizing the whole time. Okay, also curious to hear what parenting things you guys have struggled with to be on the same page with your husband. Oh, that's a good one.
Do you have a good one for that?
This is the first thing that pops to my mind, and it's not like anything like earth-shattering, but we have this like debate on, sometimes if you like see a kid who is, I don't know, a kid, like, I don't know, grade school, and they're out in like a ninja outfit or something. Corey's like, no, it's not Halloween. Like, you can't wear stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like, whatever. I mean, it's just silly things like that we kind of like go back and forth on. But we talk a lot, and we talked a lot before we had Jack. So I feel like we don't struggle with like big picture things. But it's stuff like that, like Corey wants to give him dessert at dinner, and I'm like, he's only 10 months, he can't have that cookie. And I hate myself for being that.
I mean, my husband gives my son, he takes a bite of a Sour Patch Kid and gives my son the other bite.
God, that's what Corey wants to do. And I'm like, no. Colleen, the idea of Penny today, I died. What did she do today? Did I post about her today?
You're talking about your dog, like, to yourself. Like, some people don't know who Penny is.
Penny's my Great Dane, and she's a bitch. Like, I am so mad at her right now. Everyone's like, oh, Penny's so big, and she's so cute. No. She's a wretched animal right now. She's on my shit list.
Not forever, just right now. It was the couch. That's what she's saying. Healthy Fashion One. It was the couch.
Yes.
She ate the couch.
She ate, yes. And it's new. It's because we made a playroom that she's not allowed in, so she's pissed off.
She's just
and we have, yeah. And we have the door handles that, like, you would know, like, the correct term, but they're, like, you push down. They're not turned on. Yes. So she can open this
master's degree treating you. So smart.
I have a master's in feelings. So yeah, she opens the door. So there's no use in like closing doors. So she went in the bonus room and ate a couch. I'm just gonna drink.
So the question was, I don't know if you really read it out loud, but what parenting things?
I can put it here. I can answer question. Look.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah. So what things you guys have struggled on to be on the same page with your husband? And we really haven't struggled too much to be on the same page. I mean, I don't think we're there yet. Like, I think before we had the baby, ours was timeouts. That's a good one. Before we had the baby, honestly, what we struggled on was I read all the Baby Wise and Moms on Call, like, to get a schedule going. And my husband thought that was ridiculous. He thought if we had a baby, we set a schedule, we were letting the baby run our lives. Like, why do we have a schedule for a baby? Right. Then the baby came, and I was like, get this baby on a schedule. You know, like, you get through those first 2 weeks. And then my husband was like on board with it. But for probably my entire pregnancy, we argued about the schedule for the baby. We ended up doing Moms on Call, and that really worked for us. But at first, my husband was like, this is not how we're living our life. And I was like, I don't know what to do with him. I don't know when he sleeps. Do you know?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, we do cry it out before anyone like tries to crucify me, but we are like totally fine with that. And he wanted to start it earlier than I did, and I had a problem with that. So it was more like we would like fight in the middle of the night, like when we were.
Oh yeah, no one's the best in the middle of the night.
Yeah. So we then started like making a plan before we went to bed, and then we had to like stick to it.
Hi, Meg.
Hi, Meg. My boy is
5 months old, and baby wants to cry it out. Is that too early? I have no clue. Okay, so I want to state for the record, because I got crucified on Scary Mommy about cry it out. So we did Moms on Call, and I do not represent them in any way. #disclaimer. Their policy is based on their age. You cry it out for, we're talking like 2 minutes. Like we're not talking about all night long. There's a certain amount of time that's appropriate for their age so that they learn to sort of settle themselves. So that's what we did. That's what we still do. My son is 18 months old. He's very capable of sleeping through the night. Mm-hmm. If he wakes up in the middle of the night and he cries, I can tell by the cries like he's lost a passy or he's hurt, right? Yeah. I'm not going in for the passy. If he's hurt, I will obviously go in.
Yeah.
But
obviously,
if you out of your crib, that's on you, my friend.
Right. That we learn when we do things like that. Yeah. Like right. My mom was over the other day, and he was like, he really enjoys pulling stuff out of drawers. So I was letting him play there because we have a whole playroom, but let's pull the breast pump supplies out of the bottom drawer. That's fine. So he's like pulling it out, and he's like, he's gonna slam his fingers in there. And my mom's like, Colleen, he's gonna slam his fingers. Oh God. And I'm like, yeah, let him slam his fingers because he'll learn. He'll learn. So that's what I did, and he doesn't really do it anymore. So sorry. Okay,
so there's some interesting conversation going on about cry it out on the side here, and I agree. I mean, I'm a big fan of. I mean, they're all in moderation.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, we will let now I know he's capable of getting himself to sleep. So right. When he cries, I can't stand the sound of it because it makes me like, I mean, it's annoying obviously, but like I have a reaction. I'm like, oh God, I just want to go in there, but I don't. So I'll like turn off the monitor.
Oh, okay, get ready. I feel like after this, CPS is going to be at my door. I have not used a monitor for our baby since we've lived in this. So 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And the reason why is first of all, I can hear him. Our house is not large. He's right. 1 bedroom away from me. So I can hear him. I can literally hear him when he rolls over. Right. So when I have his monitor on, I would hear every grunt, groan, whatever, and I would wake up and like startle awake. And my heart would race, and I would watch his monitor, and he'd just be like rolling over. He'd be dreaming. They'd dream, whatever. I had to turn it off. I turned off the sound first, then I ditched the whole thing. So I even plugged in. We had a babysitter, and I was like, I don't have a monitor. Sorry. You'll hear him. It's a small house. Like, one room.
I have the monitor still, but once I hear him, I'm like, oh, this sucks. So I turned it off. But I hate how moms say can't get enough. Brittany, that's my friend. Yeah, get rid of the monitor. Yeah. Healthy Passion 1. What is your real name? Because I'm calling you by your screen. Maybe you don't want to tell me. But Jessica. So she says, Jessica, you have really great questions. So she asked about the pictures.
Yeah. We can both answer that because we both do totally different things. So you go first.
Yes. So I knew.
Go first.
What? Okay. So we do not post pictures on any sort of social media, not just the blog or my Instagram. There were several like factors that went into that, and mostly just privacy for him. I feel like when he grows up and he's an adult, like, and there's pictures of him on my blog. I don't know. But there's this website where, obviously, but people write really mean things about bloggers, and people write really mean things about me, and which is fine. You can call me ugly and stupid and fat, but if you're going to say mean things about my kid, like, I'm not okay with that. So that was one of the reasons, and that was one of the reasons. And privacy. Like my friend Brittany, she told me that somebody like came up to, I told you this, but came up to her daughter and just said like, oh, is this so-and-so? And Brittany had never met her. And this woman knew who her daughter was just by looking at her out in public. So it scares me.
So I didn't know this. So you don't put pictures of him even like on your private face. Do you have a private Facebook page? You don't. And Corey doesn't either.
Yeah, no, I do have a private Facebook, but I don't.
Oh, you do?
Well, the one that we're friends, that's mine.
So you have a private Facebook and you still don't put photos of your baby on the private Facebook?
Right.
So I do something.
I thought people would think he had like a cleft lip or something, like that he was like, I was embarrassed about him. So I like made the point to say, not that there's anything wrong with that, but like just to say like, I'm not embarrassed by my baby. I just don't want to put pictures of him on the internet.
Mm-hmm. So I wrote a post on what I ended up deciding to do after I had a little bit of knowledge that I guess the layperson probably doesn't have. But and even since then, I've changed it completely. So I've never announced our baby's full name or the date of his birth or any of those things. So, I did post pictures of him when he was first born because I thought all newborns look generic, right? Like a generic newborn baby picture. Turns out the newborn pictures are the most likely to be stolen and used with like hashtags on Instagram, like baby role play.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I quit doing pictures of him that weren't watermarked. So I put a watermark around his face that can't be cropped out. Yeah. And I see. And there's a valid point. Obviously, anyone who knows Photoshop can download it, erase the, cover over the watermark or whatever. So I guess like the more following that my Instagram account got and my blog, I just sort of scaled way back on posting him. Like I'll try to post his back or his feet or detailed shots or whatever. Like if you look at my Instagram, I think some people probably don't know that I have a kid, like honestly. And that's fine with me because I still don't consider myself a mommy blogger. I consider myself a blogger who blogs about her life, and I have a child. I am a mom, but I'm also a wife, and no one calls me a wifey blogger. Like they're not. I don't sit here and like.
Being a mom is your identity, Stephanie. Duh.
If it's my identity, I'm really bad at it. Like I'm really bad at being a housewife. I'm really bad at being a stay-at-home mom. And my husband might vote that I'm really bad about being a wife. Like, I mean, I'm just like, sorry, I can't live up to it. So I don't consider myself those things. Like I don't consider myself a mommy blogger. So I blog about my life, and I happen to be a mom, right? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes. This gives me anxiety. I don't post a ton, but I do some. It's not. I really don't think the average person is going to have their pictures.
No. And you have to remember, we have public accounts. Yeah. We have blogs, and we have, so for my Facebook, I even changed my personal Facebook. I took my last name out of it, and I changed it to the blog name as my last name. And I don't post photos of him without his watermark.
You see, like,
what does it say?
It's Stephanie Olive Tate. Like, that's how you are in my phone. Like,
yeah. Like that, and a lot of people, and you know what, if you dig, you'll find it. And of course, there's many that I've missed. There's going to be pictures of him that I haven't watermarked, but my goal is just to protect his identity so that his pictures aren't being used for something gross. I mean, it's just that simple. It really is.
And again, it's whatever works for you. I don't think that anyone's a bad mom who posts stuff. I think people can be smarter about it than other.
So I think the only thing, like if you don't have a private account, even if you have a really small following, but you don't have a private account and you use a hashtag, you should know those pictures are searchable. And one of the most commonly searched hashtag is Disney kids, Disney whatever, because it gets you to images of children really quickly, really easily. I know it's gross, but I'm just telling you what's happening out in the world. So you just have to be really careful. If you aren't a blogger, if you're not putting your life out there, you have a public account and you're posting pics of your kids, they are searchable. Anyone can screenshot it. Anyone can use it, whatever. I mean, we see our friends' kids on those, used in that way. And it's gross and weird. And you just have to be careful.
I think it just kills me that the thing that and it's not even like a judging, like, oh, I think you're bad for doing this. What scares me is when I see people posting pictures of their kid on the first day of school in front of their like school, or you know, a naked picture or something like not. I mean, everybody loves a naked baby. Like naked babies are so cute, but I'm not a creep who's gonna get off to that. You know what I mean? Like, but there are people out
Pauline, do you see this? Is this last comment? Hi, Jess. It says, I posted to Facebook and that's it. So if we sort of go around the story that you sort of told earlier, we'll sort of make it generic, but that a child was recognized in public by a friend of like a grandmother on Facebook. So the grandmother was posting photos of the grandchild, as all grandparents do, about how beautiful they are, whatever. And one of her friends recognized the child in public, and the mom and the friend had never met. So it's just very, you just never know. I mean, and again, we have no judgment. And in fact, most people don't have this life. They don't put themselves out there. We put ourselves out there.
I didn't choose the blog life. No.
You what?
I was going to say I didn't choose the thug life, but it didn't.
No. We put ourselves out there and we get that. So if someone asks, do you tell friends and family not to post? So at this point, I think my friends and family at first thought I was nuts.
Yes.
And that's cool.
Mine do.
And now they don't. Yeah, and now they don't. And now they ask me if they're going to post photos, or a lot of my friends who are bloggers know my policy. They don't post photos of my baby. Some of my friends will send me a picture and say, if I watermark this, can I post it? I'll say, yeah, sure, whatever. So I actually happen to know my friends' personal policies as well. Yeah. So I just know that. Like, I know you don't want a picture of Jack on the internet. Fine, I won't, simple.
My friends have gotten creative about it. Like, if we're all together and we all have boys, and they're like, can we take like a picture where Jack can be in? So the one I posted, they were at the pool and they were all lined up. Like, so at first my friends thought I was being crazy, and they're like, there's no way you're not going to post pictures of him on the internet. It's really hard. Like, I have thousands of pictures of him on my phone. And it is really hard on days where I'm like, he's so cute, I want everyone to see this. But my friends get creative for me sometimes.
So I'm going to tell a story about someone who's actually watching, and so I'm going to change some of the details. But I was at a baby shower, and she, this mom-to-be, had decided that she did not want her child's full name to be shared on the internet for her safety. Right. So she had already told her friends and family. She had already told everyone. So at the baby shower, the banner had the baby's first and middle name. And someone went to snap a picture and got teased. Oh, but you can't post that on Instagram because mom isn't going to blah, blah, blah. And I saw the mom sort of be like, whoa, like that's just like, they don't get it. And I was sitting there and I was like, listen, it's cool that they don't get it. Yeah. I think that that's a really wise decision if your child has a unique name, not to put their first and middle name out there when and your last name is associated with it. That's their whole. What else do you need to steal someone's identity? Like, I'm not up on it, but I think if you have their birthday, the city they were born in, and their full name, like, can you open a credit card? Like, I mean, that's like really it. Like,
yeah, I know. I don't know.
We've got people who are leaving.
Bye.
We're almost a whole hour in. This is crazy.
I know. Gosh.
Okay, what other taboo topic should we talk about? Insight on where you've met mom friends. Oh, geez.
I'm batshit crazy. I feel like I'm on a constant speed date. Yeah. Or just move to Austin. Oh, come to Virginia. Do you have an answer?
Not a good one, do you?
I do.
Go for it.
Well, I don't want to say I got lucky, but I did get lucky. But I like hoard myself out, honestly. And I
love this story. Tell people what you did.
I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of. No, I'm kidding. I went on meetups. I went on meetups. I met strangers on multiple occasions. I went on the internet and hoped to God that people weren't creeps. And Ann Tate, who just left.
I remember seeing you.
She emailed me.
Yeah, blind mom date. That's right.
and said, come to my home. I'm hosting a play date. And I was like, that's fine. Like, mom life is kind of shitty anyway. If I get killed, it's fine. So I went, and she didn't kill me. But like, and thankfully she was so nice. Her friends were so nice. I never met like a crazy mom that I didn't like, but I got along better with some. But the ones that I really hang out with now, Brittany, I knew in college. Austin is a friend who, we have a mutual friend who Facebooked me again, because I was telling everyone, like, please be my friend. I know no friends. I have no friends. And she Facebooked me and said, I have a new mom friend. Like, you guys have to hang out. Another blind mom date, and it turned out really well. Another girl I knew from college. So we just got lucky.
So so Meg just commented that her closest mom friends are bloggers. So I posted a blog not long ago, and it was sort of a joke post, but it was, non-helicopter mom, stay-at-home mom seeks other non-judgmental mom friends.
So yes.
Yeah, and I was half serious. Like, and I've got, so.
I took it seriously.
Yeah, so I live in South Carolina, and where
did you hear that? If you
don't have husbands,
if you don't have husbands, you have to be lesbian. I know my haircut makes me look like a lesbian, but I'm not a lesbian.
Yeah, no, and we have husbands, but I'm cool with whatever tickles your pickle is fine by me. So, literally, your haircut is sexy. So literally though, as far as meeting mom friends in where I live now, it's been difficult. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so this is not going to go over well, but my honest opinion is it's really hard for stay-at-home moms and working moms to be mom friends, not real life friends. Let me be clear, not past life friends, not college friends, not real life friends. Like, I have working friends who I love, and we go get wine or whatever. I mean, I need another human to talk to at 9:30 in the morning because I've been up for 5 hours. It's not just starting for me. And I need to be able to bring my kid to your dirty house and let him crush Cheerios on the floor and you not be upset about it.
Yes. Yes. Amen.
So, I mean, that's difficult to find. I honestly think. So, exactly my problem. They all work. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you need an early morning escape. Like, and that just doesn't happen everywhere. And on the flip side, honestly, when it comes to working mom friends, like, they want to get together with their baby and my baby on a Saturday.
Yeah, not gonna
happen. My husband's home on a Saturday, and it's his turn, so that he can spend time with our kid because he likes them too. They like each other. So they should hang out together, do things, like go get donuts and watch football and whatever they do that makes them happy.
Right.
So I don't want to go to the zoo on a Saturday morning. I really don't. Yeah. I want to lay him down.
Yes.
Or get my nails done or act like a basic bitch in some other way. So it is what it is. I don't think it's easy to find mom friends. I have a ton of mom friends that live on my phone.
Yes.
And not in my town.
Yeah, I got lucky with that.
Yeah, I mean, you really did. I mean, I talk all day to other mom friends, but they're in my phone. And I can't call them, they're in California, they're in Texas, they're in Virginia, they're wherever. And, they're not down the street. So I'm working on it. And it's weird. And it's weird as a blogger because it does mean I am saying to a stranger, do you want to hang out? And I never, they get to read all my crazy ahead of time. What if they're like, hell no, bitch, don't come to my house. Like, you're a nut job.
Nut job, you hate your kid. And I'm like, I don't hate my kid. I just write about some things that are hard.
Yeah, so I'm going to email somebody tomorrow, and they're going to be like, yeah, I saw you let your kid eat trash, so I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Mom friends is so hard. I think I got lucky. I don't know. I hate the term lucky because I tried really hard. Like, I went on a lot of blind dates. My boss is crying. Great job, hussies.
That means her baby. When the boss is crying, it means a baby.
How does that work, Caroline?
Yeah. Sorry, Caroline. Sorry about that new baby thing you have happening.
I was like, I didn't know. Why are you? It's 9:00.
Okay, so it's 8:53, so we were probably going to power through for an hour before we get kicked off of Blab. by unanimous vote. So if you have questions, you probably want to type them in right now so we can answer them.
No.
But the mom friends one was a good one. If anyone has like a magical mom friend answer, let me know.
It's tough. I got lucky.
And do you think it's important for a mom friend that if it's, let's say you both stay home or you both work or whatever, that your babies be really similar in age? Because I do.
I do. And I got lucky with that. The girls that I hang out with, they all have boys who are within 2 months of each other.
Yeah. I mean, that's, and you know,
The comparison.
yeah.
They're not the same age. Yeah. Because if you have like a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old, like you can't. I mean, you can, but biggest reservation for baby number 2, Brittany.
You want me to answer that? Baby number 2 reservations? Because I have them. So I'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
So I already feel like this life, as far as having a second baby, I feel like my life is already wild.
Right.
Just like wild, not out of control, but always on that like line of teetering over into out of control.
Yeah.
You know, like I've sort of just carved out this space for me.
Right.
And that's going to come off as selfish, but that's going to come off at, you know, I've found this place where I'm happy. I'm working, I'm blogging, whatever.
Right.
My son sleeps through the night.
I know, why start over, right?
Yeah, my husband works 12, 13, 14 hours a day, so we're sort of in this like groove, but I can't imagine bringing a baby in. I can't imagine doing it all over right now.
It's scary.
I mean,
and so then it means it's not time. I don't know. I have reservations. Mainly, I don't even know. I don't know. My friend Brittany, who's writing this, she is like super mom, like, but it is pretty fun. She is like chill all the time. Yes. And she like just handles it. And I'm over here with one, like losing my shit over like nothing. And she has like a moving, talking baby and another baby. And she like goes between both seamlessly. And I feel like I won't be good at that because I'm still like adjusting. And I keep.
And I feel like it's trend. I don't want to say trendy. I feel like my perception, everyone around me is having their babies really close together in age. And so I feel like it's like time to start. And I honestly, I can't even wrap my brain around it. I can't imagine a newborn. And I think part of it too is I'm really big on fair. Like I'm the oldest child, but I'm really big on fair. I want everything to be equal.
Fair's not equal.
What?
Fair's not always equal.
Whatever. You know what I mean. So I want my second baby to get the same amount of attention that my first baby did. And
it's not even possible?
I think it is possible-ish. So my thought is if I wait until my first baby is in preschool, like a day, you know, goes to school 5 days a week, even if it's from 9 to 12 or whatever, I'll have this little segment of time where I can sort of appreciate this newborn period because this will probably only have 2 children.
Right.
So it's also my last shot at that, like, new, you know, and this time I'll still be afraid that I am still worried about keeping them alive and everything, but I hope the second baby, I'll be able to soak it in more. Like, oh, this is newborn phase. Oh, it's so nice. Probably not, but that's my hope. But I mean, ideally, I would like Gray to be in preschool so that second baby has a shot at someone at one time.
Yeah, do you ever think you'll be ready for 2? Someone's saying.
I do think so, because I definitely do think I will be ready for number 2. Like, I was very ready for number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at first it was like all fun and games. Like, oh, let's try to have a baby. And then it was like, get pregnant! It's like, why am I not pregnant?
Yeah.
We sort of set a time of when we'll start trying, and I really hope, I know that first month I'll be like, oh, I hope I'm not pregnant. And then I won't be pregnant. And the second month I'll be like, why am I not pregnant? So like, you know.
I also have to say that whenever people ask about number 2, and I've said this before, but I know so many people who like are not pregnant and struggle to get pregnant. And so when I'm talking about like, oh, when I have number 2, like flippantly, like, oh, it's going to happen. Like, I don't know that I'm going to have a second one. I pray to God I'm going to have a second healthy baby. And I don't mean to be like,
no, it's not a flippant conversation at all because everyone, again, we're both so great. We worked for our babies. We'll both work for our second babies. Probably harder than most people realize. We'll work for them. And so, I just not ready to start working yet.
Right. I don't know. I go back and forth. Like my brother and I are he's like my best friend and we're very close in age. So I like that. But then like I have friends who just have new babies and a 5-year-old, and the 5-year-old can like go grab a diaper and like help them to work. Yes. Child labor. I am all right with that. So I don't know. Okay. So again.
Oh, it's 8:59.
No, it's 9 o'clock. So
that was a fast hour.
That was so fun. So
should we sign off?
No, I guess we should sign off. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone else like talking to us. This went like way better. I think there are positives to both sides.
There are positives to both sides. Hopefully you have a nice day.
There's lots of positives.
Thanks guys for watching. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, next Tuesday. You should come back next Tuesday.
Well, you have another guest next Tuesday, but I may pop in to say hey. And
I know. I have Courtney from Sweet Tooth Sweet Life, but you can come.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay. So thanks, ladies and gentlemen, except the guy who said I had a nice haircut. I don't know how. Okay, now I have to like close people out, and I don't know how to do that.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.